like we never left before. We back.
So this is our 11th episode. It's our 11th live. And we just wanted to let you guys know our topic for today is how to end a relationship. Where's Quan's head?
Right, I was going to say when to end a relationship. How
to end a relationship.
Yes.
And it is not just any relationship. It's any relationship, basically. Yeah. Business, family, friends, co-workers. Boyfriend, girlfriend.
Husband and wives.
Husband and wives.
Really?
Well, if you're dating. We're not going to touch on husband and wife thing.
Husband and wife is
you got to work that out, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, Mike. So, those of you who do not know us, my name is Marisol Credo.
Where I am Quan Grant.
Yes. And we are aspiring entrepreneurs. We're working on our different projects. Yes. We love music, songwriting, and singing. So we do a lot of different things.
Word.
And we are excited to be here today to discuss this topic because so many people have problems and trouble with ending relationships, right? You know, you can have this business partner that you're so awesome with and you think, oh, in the beginning it's all great, and then next thing you know, you guys are going in different directions.
Exactly. Or they're not respecting you, and it's like something toxic, and you gotta let it go. Exactly. What's up, Christine? She done popped right in talking.
Christine says, hi guys, I just had to tell you thanks to all of your positivity. I pushed forward and out of my comfort zone, and finally after 7 years got me a new job.
Wow.
Realized it happens on God's time. Yes.
That's what's up.
And stop being impatient.
Nice.
Congratulations, Christine. That is so awesome.
Word. I'm happy for you. And I'm glad you're tuning in and taking this advice. It's working for us. You know what I mean? I'm glad it's working for you. Congratulations on your new job. Enjoy this season. You know, you have a lot to look forward to.
Definitely.
Best is still yet to come. Thank you so much for the love.
Yes, exactly.
So if you guys can, share this.
Yeah, make sure to share this.
Yes, we want more
tag
people
some people
to tune in. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Also, could you guys hear us? Well, if you can hear us, click the like button so we know that you can hear us good over the because we have music playing in the background. We don't want the music drowning out what we're saying. So let us know. Hit the like button if you can hear us well.
Some hearts, some wows.
Yeah.
Whatever you can do. Just let us know you're with us.
Hit that like button, Mike.
Right, hit it like 1,000,000 times.
Exactly.
Word.
So we're just trying to, wait for some more people to come in, and we'll just start right away. Everybody can catch it on replay.
Right.
Definitely. I feel like it's a little loud.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Like for my own ears.
Right.
Hi, LaShonda.
Can't hear myself think.
My sister. She's so
What's up, Shonda?
Awesome. Yeah. So we were just telling everyone that our topic today is how to end a relationship. So we're going to cover all the different scenarios and stuff.
Yes.
And we want you guys to join in because this is that kind of topic where you got to, join in.
Right, because we're not the only people that had to cut off some toxic relationships or friendships or business connections. So let us know. Maybe you went about doing it the wrong way. Maybe you kind of wish you could do it over again and you learned, from that situation and now you want to do it the right way. We are here to give you some great pointers on how to end that relationship.
Exactly.
Because it's important for your growth and for your well-being. Like I feel like I always say that.
Yeah,
but this is what we're trying to, accomplish.
Exactly. You want to be better at that.
We want to be better.
You don't want to have relationships that linger on because you were afraid to open your mouth and speak and be honest.
Exactly.
So our first relationship we're going to talk about is, the healthier ones, right? Where it's kind of like you're cool with the person,
right? But
you just feel like, I don't know if this is going to work anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the direction that I want to go in.
Right.
And if it's a business person, it's like, okay, you're partners, but you're kind of going off in different directions with your ideas.
Yeah.
And you're kind of outgrowing each other and you're moving in a different direction. And what's the other one? Co-workers, right?
Yeah, co-workers.
What do you have to say about co-workers? And
co-workers,
if it's a cool relationship, but you just don't want to give them the wrong idea?
Co-workers can be tricky because if you have a job where you have to work together with people, you know what I mean, it could be difficult. But like at one of my jobs, it's kind of like we do our own thing. You know what I mean? We got our own space, so I really don't have to work with other people. But I feel like if you do have to work with them, and you got to communicate with them, and I don't know, you just want to. That's definitely a relationship where you have to kind of go to them directly.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes. So that's what we're going to go over.
Yeah.
Those steps. The steps you take in those kind of relationships where it's not bad, but it's like you're growing apart and you're going in different directions. You still have love for each other, but it's kind of like, I just want to move on. Yeah, so we wrote down these things because we don't want to forget. We want to cover it all.
Right.
So
these are some good points.
Yeah, these are good points. So the first one is to choose the time and place carefully.
Yeah. You
want to definitely prepare for this whole thing. Prepare in your mind. Prepare like where it's going to be. You can even visualize that, and before you even go there.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm going to turn my.
Are you still going to be able to hear you?
Yes.
Okay.
Hopefully. You guys can still hear me? My Instagram folks, could y'all hear me? Give me some hearts if you can hear me, because I just turned my notification thing off. It was making sounds.
Right.
But yes, you got to choose the time and place carefully. So like, where would you want to, have this conversation? Okay, good.
Good.
Where do you want to have this conversation?
Right.
So you got to think about that because it's very important. You don't want to like talk to somebody while they're on their way to work.
Right.
Right. Or like, in the office. It's like
now it's awkward.
Yeah, it's not the appropriate time.
Right.
Or if it's like someone you're dating and you just like, I don't know if I want to be with this person any further than this. It's like, what where would you want to talk to that person?
Definitely want it to be a public place.
Yeah, definitely.
With other people there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You can do it at a Starbucks. You can be in the car.
Right.
Somewhere where you guys can have that moment to, break down your feelings and everything. So that's important. So choose the time and place carefully. And the next part was breaking it off in person. So we already went over that. Like just being in person, not over the phone, not through text messages, not using emojis and all that stuff, because this way it's kind of like, it's more healthy for the both of you emotionally.
Word.
I know a lot of times people think, if they don't, see the person or whatever, or if they see the person, it's going to be much more difficult. But I think,
I mean, even if you had a shake, your voice is shaking and, you're nervous, and just get it out. Yeah. Like you said, it's better for the both of us.
Exactly. It's better for the both of you. And number 3, hold on one second. I need to get some tissue, guys.
Oh, God.
We can go on to number 3.
Number 3 is be direct and honest, yet gentle and respectful. Which is, I think, very important. It's very important to be direct, you know what I mean? Because some people will try to downplay your feelings and your emotions, you know what I mean? If you're not direct, and they won't take you serious. And it's just like, But if you're direct and you're being honest and you're looking them in the face and saying, look, this is how I feel, and I don't think it's going to work, they have no other choice but to respect you.
Yeah. Right? And they often say to use the phrases like I.
Yeah.
I feel this way. Right. So don't say you.
Right.
It's not, you were the reason for this, and you did this in a relationship, I didn't like it, and then make it about you.
This is how I feel.
And stick to I.
Moving forward, I'm in a place where I, just don't think this is going to work.
Don't think this is going to work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
So you got to stay true and stay honest. Like if you're just honest and you're not thinking so much about how the person's going to react, that's when it's easier for you to just say it.
Yeah.
Because it's like all that pressure's off.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
they won't feel like you're trying to attack them. What's up, Margarita?
Exactly.
Come on, girl. Yeah, so.
Yeah, you don't want to feel like that. So just be honest and direct with your words. And number 5, don't offer false hope. Yeah. How many of you guys was gonna bail out of a relationship and be like, we could be friends.
Right. You did me wrong. You lied to me all the time. You smacked me upside my head, but we could still be friends.
Exactly. Like, no, don't say that.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't mean it. You really want to end the relationship. Like, snip, snip, snip. Don't say, let's be friends. Yeah. Let's hang out. Let's have coffee again.
Especially when you know deep down in your heart and your gut that it's toxic. There's nothing good that's going to come out of it. Let it go. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, cut all ties. You know what I mean?
But in this situation, this is not for the toxic folks. This is for the...
for the healthy relationship?
Yeah, for the relationship you just want to get over with. Like, move on. Like, if you're dating somebody, you don't want to continue with them. Or a business partner, you want to continue with them.
Right.
So this is like, that's why you want to meet them in person. And in this situation, you don't want to say, let's be friends after this. Because it's like, you're done with this relationship. You've outgrown it. You don't want to move forward.
Right. So. And you just want them to be very clear on that.
And how many of you guys had to go through that before? Have you ever had any experiences trying to cut people off or move forward? Make sure you say something about it.
Be firm, be honest, be direct.
Yeah. Under Limbo on Instagram, which is my sister, she says, ha ha ha, right, I want to retract the words after I say them. Exactly. As soon as it comes off your lips, you're like, oh, that don't feel good. I don't want to hurt this person, or... I'm not bold enough to move on and say those words. So you gotta be firm.
Gotta be firm. I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't be, unwavering. Like, you can't just be like going back and forth. Now, if you're doing that, you can harm the person even more, and even yourself. Yeah. Because you're just giving them false hope. Yeah, Maggie says it's best to be honest, but it is hard. It is hard. Yeah. But that is the best way to go about it, because it's worse when you are going against what your true feelings are. Right. Because it's that annoying feeling, that energy there that is just weighing on you, and you're like, dang, I just want to get rid of this thing. But as soon as you free yourself by being honest, it's like you're going to keep feeling that. Right.
And they can't use anything against you. You know what I mean? When you're honest, you know what I mean? It's just like, these are your feelings. Can't no one downplay your feelings. You know what I mean? So if you're feeling like, okay, this is not going to work, the best way to do it is to be honest. Yeah. And be upfront with them. Whether it's a business partner or a relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember a time when I had to do that. I had to come to grips with telling someone that I did not love them anymore. Wow. That was really, really hard. Yeah. I put that in my mind for when I knew that the relationship was not going to get any better. That's it. It was what it was. Yeah. I just started thinking I started thinking about the scenario of me telling this person that I didn't love them anymore, or I didn't want to be with them anymore, and thinking about the consequences of that. Like, how would I feel once I said that, and accepting that. In my mind, like playing it over and over and over until I actually accepted it and felt like, okay, I'm ready, I could do this. Right. And I was in the car, in traffic, and I was on the highway, and I was just had the phone conversation, and I just said it. Now, this wasn't in person, which it would have probably been better to do it in person, but for that moment, it was just like, I was ready, and I just got it off my chest, and I just said, I'm not in love with you anymore. Like, just saying those words freed me a lot. And I didn't go through the process of saying oh, how do you feel about that? But we could, still hang out or do this. I didn't do any of that. Yeah. So that's when you just have to just be direct, honest, and just...
What was the next step after that, though? Was it any other phone calls? Was it any other conversations?
Well, yeah, we had other conversations after that because we did have some business thing together. Okay. So we did have to communicate on that. But definitely, even if it wasn't that in place, I think you just have to end it there. Yeah.
Because that part of the relationship was dead. Gotcha.
Yeah. And what's the next one here that we wrote down?
Next one. Where are we at? 6?
We were at 6. You want to read that one?
Sure. Give them space to process. It's not your job to fix it. Fix your emotions. Yeah. So give them space to process, what was just said.
Everybody needs space, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're just so quick to jump back in, like you feel bad, and you're like, hey, so the next day you're like, how you doing, you know?
Right, that's true.
Like, you just told this person
right.
you didn't want to be with them. Stop playing with their emotions. That's like toying around with someone, you know, dragging them through the mud. Right. Maggie says you have to cut all ties. Exactly.
So true.
Don't follow on social media. Get them off your phone, like delete it, block, whatever you have to do.
People do that all the time. We still stalk. We still try to see what's going on with them. We try to keep some type of ties to them. You know what I mean? We try to stay connected to them some way. But like she said, cut all ties. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And just let it go. If you're gonna be done, just really be done. And it's for your well-being and for your emotions and for your mental. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to carry that. Like, let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Really?
So, now we're going to talk about... my sister says, her name is Shonda, by the way. I either want to hover to make it better or completely leave. I need a better balance. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is that question in your mind, like, could this get any better than this? And sometimes you're like, should I leave? I know I want to, because I feel like it's not going to get better, but part of me still wants to find out if it is or not. Even though you have all this proof and evidence from the, you know, the trail behind you, pointing in the direction of, no, just move on. But you're still wondering and being curious to, like, what could be. You know,
what are the signs to know when?
When what?
That is not worth going back. I think we kind of talked about that last week.
It's kind of like, you know.
Yeah, you know.
In your spirit, in your mind, in your body, everything. You know when something is not good for you.
That is true.
You know when it's time to move on. You know, it's just not, it's not producing anything good. And it's just a repetitive cycle that's just like continuing.
Right.
It's not progressing.
Right.
Hi, Laquita. Thanks for joining us.
What's up?
So our topic that we're talking about is how to end a relationship. So it would be great for you to join in and to speak on your experiences. Shonda says, laughs out loud at trail. Oh. And the heart and mind fight. Exactly. No problem. We're glad you joined us.
Word.
Yes, the heart and mind fight. You said government names on fleek. Sorry.
Right.
Yes, but it is so true. Our heart and our mind, like, that's so crazy how we can't quite get that together.
Yeah.
You don't want to know my experiences. Laughs out loud. Of course we do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, please share.
There was someone that was on Instagram that commented under my post today about what do you do after. Which is a really good point. You know, yeah, like how do you get your mind together after a relationship? I wrote it down here somewhere on the other page. Not the one you got. Oh, this one? The one before, right here. Oh, ending it in your mind. Right. She wanted to know, like, which how do you end it in your mind? Important, because a lot of times we say we're over these people, and this kind of go back to the soul ties we were talking about. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And how you can have a mental, like, soul tie too. Yeah. So I think it's really important to let it go in your mind. And how do you do that? You do that by just reversing back and focusing on yourself. Right. Because sometimes we put all this focus on that person. That's so true. We lose ourselves. Think that, you know, they're everything, and you're not going to find love again, and no one's going to like you anymore. You forget what makes you happy, things you enjoy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that's true what you said, like, kind of go back to, like, putting that energy on yourself. Exactly. So true. Loving you, absolutely. Yep. Hi, Fifi. Hi. That's my cousin. What's up, cousin? Yeah. So you got to put that energy back into yourself, loving yourself more in the situation. Yeah. Because sometimes I feel like, you know, I've been guilty of this, where you care about the other person's feelings more than your own, when you know they're not good for you. So true. And that they don't treat you the right way. Yep. You know, and you think like, I don't want to hurt this person's feelings, or if I move on, you know, now I made the decision to move on, so now I have to live with this. Or if the other person chose to move on, it's still the same feeling.
Right, and then sometimes you're like, well, I feel bad. You know, sometimes after we cut people off or we break up from people, it's just like, I wonder what they're thinking. I feel bad. Like, maybe I said it the wrong way. And we just carry all these thoughts in our head when we, you know, should just be done with it. If we're going to be done, if we said what we, you know, how we felt and we were honest, like, you got to leave it at that. You know what I mean? And didn't let them figure out the next step for themselves. Like we were saying before, allow them to process what we said and just move on, you know? Because when you have a big heart, sometimes it is hard to let things go and let people go.
Yeah.
You know, because you want to, I don't know, make sure they're okay. And you know what I mean? But, nah. You got to do what's best for you in this situation. And just let it go.
Yes.
And like you said, get back to yourself. Loving yourself, what makes you happy. And then once you're healed and you know, you're free and you're healed, then you'll attract other like-minded people.
Exactly.
So
for Devonese, I just want to let her know, if she watches the replay, that that's what you do when you want to end it in your mind.
Yeah.
You got to snip that person out of your mind and switch your focus to
back
yourself, and loving yourself more.
That's really good.
Cutting off all communication with this person, no following them on social media, don't allow them to contact you, block them.
And even go to the extreme of things that remind you of that person. You know, sometimes we hold on to things, clothes, or we go to the same places. You know what I mean? Like,
just remove it.
Yeah.
You got to start putting the things back in your mind that matter.
Yeah.
And that is going to help you be a more healthier, productive person for yourself.
I agree.
And that's telling yourself how beautiful you are. You know, affirmations, using those affirmations. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am powerful.
Right.
You know, I am loved.
Right.
You know, people love me.
Right.
Men are attracted to me. You know,
right.
You got to say those things to really build yourself back up. Because when you are at that low state, you will feel like you can't do anything without this other person. Like, like they are you.
Right. And I heard someone say not too long ago, and they were going through like a breakup, and she was saying like, well, maybe I'm supposed to be single for the rest of my life, or, you know, maybe it's not meant for me to be with anyone. And these are things you don't want to feed your mind. You know what I mean? You don't want to fill your head with stuff like that. So.
Exactly. Laquita says,
the right person's going to come at the right time.
Exactly. The right person will come at the right time. You just have to know that and believe it.
Yep.
And Laquita says, think about it this way. You are a cake, and the other person is supposed to add the icing to the cake. And if you don't get along with the icing, no sweat. Find some more icing.
I like that.
If that makes any sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because you want people to add to your life, and that's any person or any, you know, that's subtracting from you, taking away, draining you, allowing you or not allowing you to be who you're created to be. Like, those are people you don't want in your life. But if you're going to be in any type of relationship, even a business relationship, it should be like some type of add to your life. You know what I mean?
Exactly. No taking away.
That makes sense?
Yeah. If they're taken away from you,
that's not a good
that
relationship.
should be good enough for you to be like, okay, this is not helping me at all.
Yeah.
And that means you're not really loving yourself enough. So now that's why you got to do the reverse thing.
Yeah.
So, Devaney, I hope that helped you. And if you have any more comments or anything, let us know. So, we were going to talk about different scenarios and getting down to like the meat of like the toxic relationships, right? And even though we touched on it a little bit. But it's like going as far as the different scenarios and how to approach people in, let's say, abusive situations, right? So we have those relationships where people are physically abusive, mentally, emotionally, financially. Right? Are you looking at me like...
No, because I thought you were reading something, so like...
Oh, no, I wasn't. It was in my head. It was in my head. But yeah, those type of relationships, definitely. And
some relationships don't even deserve an explanation.
That's it. No explanation. That's what we're going to just talk about.
Cut it off. That's my favorite one.
Block.
Because there was some people that I had to just like, look, you know, once you sir, you get tired of explaining yourself and how you want to be respected in a relationship, how, how you feel about this, and then people keep violating and going against everything that you stand for. So that's, I think, an indication that, okay, you don't respect me, you don't care about my feelings, you don't care about nothing I'm saying, so I'm just going to be done with you. I'm going to, not deal with you anymore. You're going to be blocked. You're gonna, I'm gonna walk past you like you never even existed before. You know what I mean? Like, I have,
those blinded
seriously, like, you're done. Like, you know what I mean? So I think it's easier to do that when you really don't have to deal with them like on a regular basis. It's different if you have to see them all the time. But even if you do, because there's some people I work with that I'm just like,
yeah,
you're done, like, you know what I mean? So that's my favorite one.
Yeah,
blocked. And they know when they're blocked. They know when they cross the line.
And you gotta have that mental capacity, because some people don't take no for an answer.
That's true.
You could block the heck
and
out
they'll
of them,
still try to come around,
and they'll still find a way
right.
to keep bothering you or trying to get your attention. And they know you're moving on. They know you're trying to move on. But they're like, nah, I'm going to try to find a weak spot where I can get back in there. And they will go leaps and bounds to get back at you. So you got to recognize that and just keep, blocking them.
Yeah.
Don't stop blocking them, because any little leeway that you give them to come in, little loophole, they're going to try to take hold again.
Take advantage. Because people like to control you. You got to watch out for the people that try to control you, try to control your mind and your emotions. And
they don't want you, but they just
in your life
want you to want them.
Right. Or they want you to feel bad about yourself because that's how they feel about themselves.
Exactly. They just keep stringing you along, knowing that they're never going to commit to you or be anything more than what it is.
Right.
So sometimes those relationships are just the best ones to just leave alone.
Yeah, Shonda said it affects my mental state when I have to engage.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not. Some people aren't worth that energy.
I remember a woman from church, and this is so funny, but she was like, I prayed for God to take him out for one of her exes. She was like, take him out, Lord, take him out.
Jeez.
Yes. No, but sometimes some relationships you feel like you just want the person, I wish they would just be removed from everything, because that's how much you want to move on yourself, and you feel like if you could just get them out of the way, I could be everything I could be. It's like, just remove this person, remove this thing away, and I could be myself,
Sometimes God will honor those type of prayers.
Exactly.
seriously, don't be afraid to pray that prayer.
Just don't
pray death.
Take them out.
Right, don't pray death on them. But sometimes things will happen where, I had a crazy annoying neighbor that lived below me, and I didn't pray that God would take him away, but he just happened to move. So you just never know.
You missing something in that story.
Right. I was like, dude, I think that works for what we're talking about. But you just never know. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's like a coworker or something. Maybe they'll get another job or something. Yeah. And then it's just like,
okay, they're out of here.
Yeah. You don't have to deal with them anymore.
Exactly. That's funny. Okay, so now here's the other part. It's some relationships you I was watching the sermon by Sarah Jessica
Parker?
No, Sarah Jakes Roberts. And I remember her saying, send people off with love. And I used to do that before, and I used to think that was okay, I need to stop doing this, because you send people off with love and they get a different idea of what that is, and they feel like, oh, she really doesn't want me to leave. She's just saying that.
Right.
But from what she was saying is that you don't, even though someone may have hurt you, even if they didn't hurt you and you just want to move on, but if they did hurt you, that still you can find peace, like Quan was saying, through prayers and meditating and, going through that whole phase. Mm-hmm. And you don't want the other person to suffer or to feel like, okay, I'm moving on from this relationship. I know I'm moving on. I'm going to be stronger. I'm going to be better. and just kind of taking that acceptance and acknowledging that, and taking that feeling of shut up, quiet.
No, I'm thinking about what you said before when you like, there's got to be more to this story. Sorry, I just thought about that.
Which story?
The one I just told you, like, okay, like, there got to be more to the story about the neighbor.
Oh, the neighbor, yes.
Okay, sorry. That was a side note.
Yeah.
That's what I was laughing at in my head.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm off track today.
I forgot what I was
You were talking about sending them off in love.
Oh yeah, sending them off in love and just having acceptance at that point, and wanting the other person to not, you don't want to harm them.
Right.
You kind of want to send people out in the world to be better individuals for themselves, because now you have taken that responsibility for your own life, and you moved on, and you just say, you know what, I want you to be the best you could possibly be. Yeah. I'm not going to cry in front of you. I'm not going to be angry towards you and cursing you out and beating you down because things didn't go the way that I wanted it to go. Yeah. I'm just accepting it. I'm accepting this for what it is. It wasn't meant to be. And, send them off with love. Yeah,
because you don't want any bitterness in your heart, unforgiveness, or, anger, because that only affects us anyway.
Exactly.
No. So do it in love.
Yeah, and training that mind is like a big piece of it all, because everything stems from your mind anyway. Yeah. So even with these relationships, it's just your whole perception of who you are in these relationships. Yeah, it's like they don't make you. These people don't make you.
That's good.
These situations don't make you.
Right.
And God is the only person that could tell you who you are. That's your identity. Yeah. And everything else is like, if it don't line up with that, then it's like, why am I investing time in this?
You guys should have been giving hearts on it. That was deep. These relationships do not make you. These situations don't make you. The relationships don't define who you are. And a lot of times people allow people to do that to them. You know what I mean?
Define who they are.
Like I was saying before, there was this girl I was talking to that was saying, like, because it didn't work out with the guy, like, maybe I'm not just supposed to be with anyone, or this is, I'm not, I'm never going to be happy. And it's just like you lose yourself in these relationships, and you don't ever want someone to make you feel like that. No, that person was just not the person for you. Plain and simple. It's not the end of the world. Like I was saying before, the right person is going to come at the right time. But a lot of times, we have to work on ourselves. I can't stress that enough. Seriously. Once you work on yourself, you love yourself, you allow yourself to be healed, you figure out what it is that makes you happy, what do you enjoy. And another thing I also learned this year was, you can't look for someone to make you happy. And even in a relationship, and we do that all the time. Oh, you make me so happy. I'm so complete with you, or blah, 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 blah. No, you need to know what happiness looks like and feels like before you even jump into a relationship.
Exactly.
Because
it's not the other person's responsibility to make you happy. It's not their responsibility to pay your bills. Right. It's not their responsibility to give you confidence.
Right.
All that's got to come from you first.
Yeah.
And anybody who's there compliments you, in your relationships and in your life.
So that was a side note for you guys.
Yeah. Gotta love yourself. Love yourself. We should make a song about it. Love yourself tonight. Hit it, Quan.
Love yourself tonight.
Ooh.
Love yourself tonight. Really, that's all we think about.
Relationships don't make you, and they can't break you.
They can't break you. It might hurt. It might not feel good. She said, "Come on now."
Come on now.
It might, you know what I mean, make you, especially if you've been in a relationship for a long time, you know what I mean? So now you got to figure out how to do life, without them or whatever, especially if they were helping you, or
it can distort your image of yourself if you're in that for so long. Right. And you don't know what's healthy, what's not healthy, because you're in this and you're thinking this is how it's supposed to be.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah. Right.
So what do you guys think? Anybody have any relationship comments? Any questions? Any ideas? What you want to go
right.
into.
Are there relationships that you might have to cut off now? Are you in something that's not working, or business relationships, or I don't know.
Yeah, we were talking before
we
this,
only got like 3 people.
and
So,
we were talking before this, and I was talking about like how, sometimes, somebody could be texting you, right, saying hello, and they're just being friendly, cool, and then for months, go by, and then they call you, and you don't answer the phone, then they call you again a month later, and it's like they keep calling. You would think like they would get the idea, like, I'm not answering the phone, I'm not talking to you, and it's been like a year, and you're still calling and texting. So it's like, somebody like that, you just got to pick up the phone and like vocalize to them and be direct and tell them like, whatever you have to tell them, because
that's true.
They're not going to stop. Some people don't get the idea, and they're just going to keep annoying you.
That's so true.
And keep on thinking things are cool between the both of you, when really in your heart, like, I just feel like this, it's not going to be a good friendship. I'm not there with you. I'm not there. Yeah. And some people don't get that. They don't get the hint.
Right.
So you got to be vocal.
Yeah, you got to be firm, and you can't go back, and you can't be the type, I'm learning, to go back and forth with people. Like, if it's going to be done, let it be done. Or they're going to keep thinking, okay, you're going to come back around, or this is,
Oh, she answered the phone.
Right.
Or he replied to my text message. So
Or let me send them something funny. Like, they know how to kind of get in there. You know what I mean?
See if you'll respond.
Yeah, I know this will make him laugh.
Exactly.
He ain't really mad at me. He ain't done with me.
Exactly. And they will tell you that too sometimes. You're not done with me. You know you love me. You know you're cool with me. And it's like, you can't play with those mind tricks.
Right.
Because people like that are very clever. And they're used to kind of, digging on people. And just taking advantage.
Yeah.
So just know the people you are in relationships with. They might have their own little fugly little issues, and that you're not aware of, and you get caught up in their little triangle.
And this goes for family members.
Yeah, how would you end a relationship with a family member? Shonda says, I'm ending one now. I'm just not sure what's wrong. We're just not aligned, and it's getting draining.
That's deep.
Yeah. When things like that is happening, when you're drained, you just have no energy for it. And Fifi says, I just did. Tell us.
Right, please.
Tell us, please.
What type of relationship? She's laughing at ugly.
What type of relationship was it, and how did you do it?
Yeah.
Sometimes it is hard to end relationships with people.
It is.
Because you be like, dang, I want to block him.
Right.
But he's so nice to me. Or
they buy me things.
Or, it's not really a bad relationship because, we have a good business thing.
Oh, it's me. Do. It's not them. It's me.
It's me. No, it's
I need to
you.
change.
It's not you. It's me.
Right.
But it's so true.
Yeah, within yourself. Let's go over some more, the recap some of the points we made.
Well, Fifi tells us.
Yeah, we're waiting on that.
We want you to be typing it right now.
So today's topic was
how to end a relationship.
Yeah.
And we went over some points.
Points.
Okay. She says, I have a family member that loves to stir the pot and then walk away from the mess that she's created. Oh my gosh. Do all of you have some pot stirrers in your family or friendships or relationships? Heck yeah. And they just want to create a mess and be like, and then watch the mess. Like, set the house on fire and just stand outside and watch it burn. Like, it's amusement for them.
Right.
Yeah, we experienced those things before as well.
Yep.
She said, I love her, but I love myself more, and I needed to rid myself of the messy energy.
Listen, that gets old. When you're trying to do better for yourself, when you're trying to grow, when you're trying to be better, you get, at some point, you get tired of the mess. You know what I mean? And sometimes family members think you're just supposed to take it. They can dig. They know your weak spots. They know your boiling points. And they just look at you as if you're supposed to, just take it. But nah, I feel you on that. Like, if you're not a messy type of person, you got to let it go. You know what I mean? Some people, I'm convinced some people really enjoy being messy. You know what I mean?
They feed off of that because that's their whole thing. They can't go through life without having some kind of drama.
Right.
because that's what they need.
Right.
They feel important with it.
Mm-hmm.
It gives them something.
Yeah.
Like, some people that are just drama based. Like, if you're in a room with them and everything's cool, everybody's getting along and they're so positive.
Right.
Like, if it's a cookout or outing with the family, you always have some family members that come to those cookouts or outings and they just show out and just like whatever. But everything will be going smooth and they just can't take it. Everything is good.
Yeah.
They got to bring up somebody's past. Oh, you used to drink a long time ago, or you used to do that, or you used to be whoring around with that man over there and that person in front of everybody, so it could be a big scene. You know? It's like,
and you got to watch out for the ones that talk about everyone to you.
Exactly.
Because best believe, like, they're definitely talking about you to everyone.
Exactly. He says, I'm not great at sugarcoating, so I flat out told her that I no longer want to be friends with her. She didn't take it well, but I had to do it for myself. Yes.
Gotcha.
That was good.
And you never know. I think we said something earlier about be prepared for the reaction.
Yeah, be prepared for the reaction of the other person.
Right.
Yeah, because sometimes they might react in a way where you end up like this. It's okay. No, I didn't mean it. And consoling them. Like, they turn it around. Like, some people are very good at manipulating.
That's so true.
And you could be there with good heart intent, like, no, I'm over this. And you could be sure in your mind.
Right.
Then they could just
turn your words all the way around and have you thinking it was you, like you're crazy. That is so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch out for people like that.
Exactly. So power to you for ending that relationship.
Absolutely. That's what's up.
Because it takes a lot of strength and courage to do that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, don't. I've had that happen to me before. Next, you get off the phone or you're in front of them and you leave like dang, I ended it, but now I feel horrible.
Right.
Like I was a monster or something. Like I did something really horrible to this person in their life. They didn't flip the whole thing on me. Yeah. And they just left feeling like, okay, I'm good.
Right.
Like she came to end it with me, but I ended her.
Right. Just thriving off of the whole
thriving off the whole thing.
Yeah. Not cool.
And it's crazy.
Thank you guys for engaging. We appreciate it.
Yeah, stay woke.
Seriously.
Exactly. Yeah, we said that already. Be prepared for a bad reaction.
Yep.
And making sure you want to end the relationship, because
That's
sometimes
true.
you could go in there still not unsure.
I want to deal with you no more, and blah 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 blah. And then you
start crying, wait. I wasn't sure.
Right.
I think I love you, but I want to stay with you.
Right.
You can't do that.
Then they're looking like, nah.
Yeah, now they got the upper hand. Now they got control. And now you just like the little puppet.
Right, now you're feeling undefeated. And yeah, you definitely want to make sure.
Exactly.
It's something you want to do.
Make sure.
Yeah.
Put it in your mind. Just go for it. Yeah, definitely. So we were gonna recap.
Yeah, let's recap.
We're gonna recap, the different ways of going about it. And this is doing it in this really good, positive way. Mm-hmm. Even though we went over the other ways to block people and cut them loose. No contact.
When you do it this way, it makes you feel good. You feel in control of your life. You know what I mean? You're not letting people run you down, and you know what I mean. It's like, no, we're gonna meet up at Starbucks. I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I'm gonna dead this relationship, and this is what it's gonna be. I'm gonna send you off in love. Hopefully, they're respectful enough to respect what you gotta say. If not, either way, it's all good.
You gotta be accepting of their reaction.
Yeah.
If they cry and laughing or whatever their reaction is, you gotta already, before you walk through those doors to meet with them, you gotta accept whatever their reaction's gonna be, and just stay
and be firm.
in what you were saying.
Because sometimes tears will move you to be like, oh, maybe we can work this out.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, if you know it's not a relationship that's worth having or being involved in.
If the tears start coming, just be like, I'm sorry this is hard for you. I'm going to give you your space and your time to handle that. I'm going
to handle that.
That
was kind of harsh.
No, not to handle that, but you just want to say I'm going to let you handle that.
You handle that. You go over there and cry. I'm going to go get me a little Starbucks. I'm going to get a donut or something. And you handle that.
Handle those tears.
Right.
Grab a napkin. Here you go.
Right.
You want me to tap? Okay. I gotta go.
I don't see you anymore.
No, it's kind of just saying My sister says, haha, good luck with that. No, it's like send them off in love. Just like, okay, you see the tears and you're like, I think it's a good time now that, we, take this time to process everything and have our own time to do that. And then just exit left. Get out of the room fast as you can. So here's the recap. Like Kwani.
So we said choose a time and place carefully. Break it off in person if you can. Mm-hmm. Be direct and honest, yet gentle and respectful. Choose your words wisely. Try to stick to I. Don't put all the blame. Right.
Don't even mention the other person. Right. Just talk about you.
Speak your truth and how you feel.
That's it.
Right. The fifth one was don't offer false hope.
Yeah. People want to stay friends afterwards.
Yeah.
You already went in there to cut loose. Mm-hmm. So don't go on saying that maybe we could be friends or maybe we can hang out.
Right.
Especially if that's not something you want to do. Maybe in some cases it might work out because it wasn't like such a toxic relationship. Mm-hmm. But if it was, just leave it alone.
Word. Number 6 is give them space to process.
Yes. It's not your job to fix their emotions.
Right. Number 7 was to take care of yourself afterwards, which is very important, because like we were saying, ended it in your mind, you know what I mean? Just make sure you're good, you know what I mean? Take time, because even we say give them space to process, but sometimes we need space to process what just happened as well. So give yourself that time to process everything. You might have to cry, you might have to whatever, but get yourself back together and just know, like, you did what was best for yourself.
Yeah, do something good for you.
Yeah.
I know I would go out, I would go shopping.
Right.
I'll get my hair done, get nails done, or do something nice for myself. You know?
Because we get lost in relationships sometimes.
And some people can make you feel bad about yourself or question yourself.
Yeah.
Especially like family, because they get in there deep because you love them and they love you, so they play off of your weaknesses. They could cut you with
words and stuff like that. But know that you're not what people say you are. You know what I mean? Only what God says you are. And, and what you tell yourself too. So, was this be prepared to end?
Yeah, we already discussed that. And be prepared for a bad reaction.
Right.
So that was what we kind of went over. And we just want to recap just for anybody who came in. But it's a lot of lessons to learn in these things. Because you want to be good after you come out of any relationship, business, family, friends, co-workers.
Yeah.
My cousin says, great point. I love this. You guys are really awesome. Thank you.
You're awesome for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning
feedback.
in.
We appreciate that.
Yes.
We don't feel like we're just talking to a device.
Yes. We love the engagement.
Yes, with real people, real stories, real scenarios. We appreciate it.
Awesome. So we're going to leave you with just knowing your worth.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really good. Like Devaney said, how to end everything in your mind after everything is over.
No ties.
She was talking about a relationship, like with a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And you got to cut off the ties with people.
That was my favorite point of the night. I think that's important. Because you could cut people off in relationships and stuff like that and it still just be like mentally unstable afterwards. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's
we talked about that before. The soul ties, the strongholds and stuff. And you want to like touch on it now since we're here. You might as well go over that part.
But sometimes,
just so people can remember, like when you're in relationships, that it's more than just, even if it's a sexual relationship or not a mental relationship, that sometimes, like things get exchanged through that process.
Yeah.
And like you said, you take on
other people's spirit. Yeah. So you want to be careful, and sometimes, I don't know, you just got to be careful.
What?
No, you said, I can't even talk now.
Just say it.
No, you got to be careful, you know what I mean? Because you do take on people's spirit. And that's why it's good to wait and to make sure you're with the right person. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you start taking on emotions and feelings and things that you don't even know where they came from. You know what I mean? You start acting in ways that like, this is not even me. Exactly. And without even knowing, there was a transfer of spirits. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you have to be mindful of that. And like we said, also like, it's people think, okay, I'm not dealing with them, I cut them off, or that's dead, that soul tie is dead. But the mind, you have to make sure
stays with you after
seriously
the person is out of reach.
Right, because those thoughts come back, those old feelings, what you guys used to do, things you used to do together. You want to make sure you're free in your mind. And like Marisol was saying earlier, just change that
focus.
Yeah, from them to yourself. It's gonna take practice. It's gonna take time, but the more you love yourself, the more you're gonna, discover your worth, and just like you'll find yourself thinking less and less of that person.
Yeah, you feel much more powerful when you start loving yourself and giving yourself that time, and not really focusing on the other person and how they perceive you and how they feel about you or feel about anything, the situation. It's when you know that inside, it's like you can conquer anything. You can get over things. Yeah, it's still gonna hurt, it's still gonna feel weird, but you're still gonna be able to move past it.
Right.
It's not like gonna break you down where you can't work anymore. Or, you just out for the count.
Yeah. And sometimes in these relationships, we find ourselves compromising, doing things we don't even want to do.
Exactly.
And we talked about one time about giving away your power. So.
And how people feed off of you, like the energy vampires, when you're in a weak state, and they take advantage of you and manipulate you because you're not functioning at your highest capacity.
Yeah.
That's because you're not loving yourself.
Yep.
So that's why it's important to love yourself.
So important.
And don't allow people to take control over your mind, your body,
because
anything.
I think because relationships that I was in the past, friendship or whatever, I've learned so much, and over the past couple of years on loving myself and keeping myself first, and just making sure I'm whole and healthy and mentally good, that like now I recognize these type of people when they come in your life. You know what I mean? So now you're like, you got one up on them. It's like, nah, when you really love yourself, you're not going to let people come and take advantage of you and try the same games. You're kind of like, you're up on the game. Yeah, the red flags, right? So
you're like, I know what this person's about. They're going to try to do this and try to use me for okay.
Yeah. I learned to not make decisions so fast. What's up, Mom? To not be so quick to make quick decisions or whatever. Like, think things through. I think is very important.
Yeah, Shonda says, I saw you at the door. Like, you see that person for who they are before they even get close to you.
Yep. But if you don't take that time to become one with yourself, I think like these little signs.
You won't recognize it.
Exactly.
You won't.
Yep.
It's like you're blinded.
Right, because sometimes we go into these relationships like so needy and wounded. It's just like, oh, someone's here to stay with me overnight. I got company. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, yo.
He or she loves me.
Right. Nah, that's not
like,
love.
No, that's false. You just made that up in your mind.
Exactly.
They don't love you.
They don't love you.
Go ahead, Quan.
What's that?
Hit them with a run.
No run.
No, but any feedback, guys? How you feel about that? How you feel about everything we spoke about today? Did you like the topic? What do you want us to talk about in the future?
Right, I think this was a good one.
Yeah, it's really good. Thank you for the love.
Who's that? Shonda doing all the hearts?
I'm not sure, because it doesn't tell us who's giving us the hearts.
No. Normally their like picture comes up.
You love the topic? Thank you so much.
Thank
I love you. Yeah, I think on Facebook. Awesome and right on. Thank you. More kisses. Oh yeah, it does show.
See?
It does show. Yeah, it shows a little your little tag or whatever.
Profile picture.
Yeah. What should we talk about next week, guys? Give us some topics, some juicy ones. What do you think people want to hear? Because, usually we come up with these topics because based on things that we've experienced. Wish that I would have promoted this on my page because so many people need to hear this message.
It's not too late.
Yeah.
Share the replay.
Oh, she can on Instagram. But you could...
on Facebook. Oh, I don't know if she has Facebook.
You can bring people to it or tell people about it, or you could repost one of our videos. Oh, it's going to be on YouTube, so I'll send you a link, and that way you could text it to your friends or family members. That way, too. We appreciate that.
Word.
And Laquita, thank you over there on Facebook. I'm not sure who's actually on there because it doesn't really tell us. But we appreciate all of you guys for tuning in today. Yeah. And we hope that and pray for you all to have a successful relationship with whoever. And we know that God has someone for each and every one of you if you're not in a relationship yet.
Hi, Nina.
Hi, Grandma. He says, I will for sure. You guys are so on point and calming. Oh,
to God be the glory.
Yes. Some messages come right on time, and we never know our purpose in a situation. So we really thank you for being here with us.
Yep.
So that we can elaborate and share our stories. It is healing when we talk about our stories and our pains and our sufferings and things that hindered us or kept us from growing. You know?
So true.
You just gotta let it out and release it.
The Bible says we overcome by the blood of the Lamb, which was already shed, and by the word of our testimony. So the more we share our testimony and our truth and things that we overcame, it heals us. And then not only does it heal us, but we give that space for others to be healed by our story. Because sometimes, a lot of times, we think we're the only ones going through certain things, but nah. It's not true.
We're all here.
We're all here.
We're a big family, community.
Yep. Going through we all got different stories and different journeys and different paths. But
some stories that you probably wouldn't believe looking at the two of us.
So
we're going to constantly open up and share more of our stories.
So much to share.
Definitely.
Definitely got testimony for days.
Yes. But definitely, if you have any topics to DM us, let us know. And it's really helpful for us. And we thank you so much again. We love you and God bless you all. And tune in next week.
Keep supporting us.
Next Tuesday.
Keep engaging. Subscribe to YouTube. Invite people. We want to see these numbers go up, guys. We really do. We want people to, not just because it's us, but because these are great topics that we feel like people need to hear, especially on like social media. You know what I mean? We're trying to spread positivity.
Yes.
You know? So just empower each other. Word.
So thank you. We love you. Peace out, guys.
Good night, guys. Those in Connecticut, be safe with that snow tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Snow. I can't believe it. It was so nice today.
I know. It was perfect.
Love you. Bye.
Peace out.
God bless you too.